man.
Smoke coming out from Ehome. And they're trying to get around the back of IG, possibly finding a first blood, but don't spot anybody by the bounty rune. And now Battery Assault will come out on a dogfight. They've also got Black here. So we'll see how Ehome approach this, and the decay hits on multiple heroes. Jingqiu using that Arctic Burn a little early. We'll see if he gets into range for that slow. Will on a dogfight, so they should have first blood at least, and it will go the way of Tia and me.
Not the lane that you want to give first blood in. So this is the lane that you would like to apply a decent amount of pressure. And like we were talking about, if Ehome gets an early lead here, they're gonna snowball pretty hard. So getting first blood is pretty effective. Also, forcing the Beastmaster, they use some tank by just getting that one Arctic Burn on. Even something like that is nice. That's set for a good lane down here. Laning is really all about regen.
You're talking about Ehome forcing their hand early and trying to push out and win these lanes, but Jingqiu is going Midas, so is he looking more towards, just in case the later game? Does he need items or just levels? Like, can he work with this lineup with just levels and then have the Midas just in case the game goes later?
It does make, look, there's two lines of thought when going Midas. It's like, just to get more farm, and then to, like, not fight, and then you can fight with your levels and your skills, and then have the Midas to get you items while you're fighting. Because when you're fighting, you're not farming. So I think that's kind of like a farming Midas, where he's essentially, they're going to be looking to push and to fight and to constantly apply pressure, but while doing that, he's going to want to farm. So maybe he just sees himself as the hero that's going to need to constantly apply pressure, and therefore he needs to get the Midas, because otherwise, as the hero that's making the space and applying the pressure, he won't get any farm. He knows he's going to have to do that for the majority of the game.
Quick pause here.
I'll let.
A little lag going on, but it gives me time. Well, don't see it in that. I wanted to show off this undying set that's going on here. Of course, I love showing this off. The Trail of the Burning Doom, the glitched item, the autographed items that get glitched, they have to be self-made autographed items. So I think anybody who goes to TI gets a self-made chest, and then they get a self-made item out of that chest, and somehow there's somebody who glitches the item. Thousands of dollars, and it's Trail of the Burning Doom tombstone, so he always has it on, whether or not the tombstone's out.
This one is autographed by Oleg PRB Bolako. I do believe that is some sort of CIS name, right? That's not his name. That's not a Chinese name. He bought this. I'm calling it Oleg out right now. He was selling autographed items to glitch and in game Chinese.
You only get one chest, so I don't know if he sold his one.
Oh, you only get one.
You only get one. That's what I've been told. I am not a TI caster. I don't exactly know.
Gods would know.
So, okay.
Should I ask him?
I've spoken to people about this before.
You casting with him tomorrow?
Yeah, for the first part.
He's gonna be upset that you made that point on stream, because like, oh, don't tell them I sold somebody my. Like, he sold it. He probably sold his to somebody.
Yeah.
Dude, you could sell that for like $300. Look how cool this looks. This looks way cooler than the Dragon Claw hook, and that thing's worth $700.
Well, that's how
Canadian.
FY has his hallucination Rubik. It's the same thing. It's you know how you see his Rubik and it's like the ghosting on it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, that's done the same way. It's the bleak hallucination. That's my favorite.
Dragon Knight. There's a Dragon Knight too that has it. Is it burning? Somebody has.
No, it's a player who still plays now.
Is it Somnus?
It might be. I think it might be.
A mid player. No, it's a mid player. It's a Dragon Knight. But yeah, that man. I used to be big into items. I don't know about you. Before the three spirits change, where they made it so that all of the like unusual gems could be taken out, put into different couriers and stuff. That I was big into items then, but then there was a bit of a crash after that. Because that kind of when they took that out, it kind of devalued a lot of the legacy couriers, which were at like the tip top of the economy. Because like this is the only pink courier. You have to have a legacy one to get the pink courier. Then you could kind of get any color you wanted. Devalued a lot of things. A lot of people got angry. Economy crashed. There's less.
Wasn't there that guy who bought the pink courier for like tens of thousands of dollars?
1,000 or something. Yeah. The days. Dude, I had an Alpine Ursa set. I got it when it was out, and that was a nice purchase. Within a few weeks, it was or something ridiculous like. And then
I had to hold on to, and then try for some Bugattis.
I traded it for something stupid. I said it was a trader, not a good trader. Anyway, we got a game going here.
Yeah, we're on pause. Last thing I'm going to say on the whole item thing is I haven't seen FY play in so long. I hope he has the Bleak Hallucination somehow on the Arcana.
That'd be awesome. Holy crap, the Arcana.
Oh, Black. In a lot of trouble trying to run away. Tian Ming's here with the battery assault. TP. Oh, you great spy. Where'd he go?
That's the. It pays to explore the map in practice lobbies. All of his hard work and practice just paid for itself. Such a nice spot.
Gave up that spot though.
Yeah. And they're against a tri lane, so wasting their time like that and getting away right in front of your tower, super effective. It's not a dual lane that he's against. Pull doesn't connect, so they have a full wave here.
Oh, he's in a lot of trouble. The battery assault. The decay comes in. Easy kill here for Ego. I got locked up in my head about the question I was going to ask while I cast that. But I was going to say, Jinkyu, now he's solo here against Doodle, at least for now. They finally TP up the Shadow Shaman. But I was going to say, Jinkyu getting levels, he's really level 3. The levels are really big here, I feel like, for a Winter Wyvern with this team now. Have an early Winter's Curse can really do quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And even just getting levels up in the Splinter Blast is going to help him with laning, which will get him to the level 6 even quicker. Like level 2 in Splinter Blast, 15 extra mana for 80 more damage. It's quite effective to level it up. That's going to give him something to deal with his Lifestealer. Although, it's problematic when this hero has Feast. You can just, lifesteal all of the damage that you do to him. But the higher you get that spell, the less you can do that. So.
Got emo. Battery assault.
He's level 1
that strength.
He can't track him in. Let's have the boots. This is something that you see a lot of roamers do nowadays. They'll sit in the safe lane and just try lane until they get either like level 2 or boots or something like that, and then they'll start roaming. The only problem with Clockwork is that level 1 battery assault not that great. And power cogs, or battery assault without power cogs, also not that great. You need so many levels of this hero, other than just having boots to roam effectively.
Yeah, it feels like he's not that Earth Spirit who's able to roam effectively, like just level 2 straight out of the bat. And there are other heroes like that, or were other heroes like that, like Tuck. And
even Pudge at level 2 is spooky.
Black in all that trouble is there's the cogs, there's the battery assault, the soul assumption comes out, a couple shots and he'll die as there's the soul assumption again, and Ego in that kill. Meanwhile, I believe Innocence died inside the jungle, sacrificing himself.
Right, I think he died to the tier 2. Quicker respawn time. Undying, Skywrath, Pudge, Ursa. I love killing myself to the tier 2 on these heroes. You come back to lane and you trade so effectively on Undying that Undying with full mana is so scary. He comes up here to the top lane.
Jinkyu has to be careful, but buys Cliff and then Innocence comes over. He's got Decay ready to rock and roll, and actually he'll just zone them out so they get 3 of the 4 bounty runes this early.
I'm really interested to see how this Wyvern is played in this game. Like, I'm wondering why they. I know they pick the Wyvern to like counter the Beastmaster. It's great against Beastmaster, but do you need to put it in the floral? Is the offlane clock that, or having clock that good? You
gotta be careful.
With the Wyvern.
They're looking for Innocence with Zhao here. The Nether Blast comes in, but Innocence with the decay is survivable in this moment. They try to turn it around on Zhao once again, but Emo eating these Nether Blasts as he continues to just morph into that strength. And then back,
he was playing real
back into the Agi.
He's playing real low there. He knows this matchup. This is a pretty easy matchup to feed if you haven't played it a lot, because Pugna, the single blast plus crap can kill you from full HP. 360 HP is not a lot. You should probably send out a raindrop here. Let's see, does he have one on courier? He does not. That's aggressive. Definitely aggressive. Let's find a haste rune on the top room. He just died over bottom here if he's not careful.
Egos have a very good start to this, but as I say that, they're going to try and come on over with Ollie making his way in. Ego Soul Assumption, thrown in Dogfights to end the cave with the Sword that's trying to keep Ego alive to get another Soul Assumption out. Dogfights ends up surviving. I basically just cursed Ego right there, as now they continue to move forward. They're trying to get Tian Ming, but finally Dogfights dies. You've got Innocence with 12 strength, but I mean, they lose their position 1.
Getting Vintage before he's 6 is very important. It's a lot harder to deal with when he has this familiar. Although they did get nerfed at level 1, so they're nowhere near as strong as they once were, but still, this hero is absolutely abysmal at lane, unless he's like a try-v-try scenario. Killing him is...
It's worrying me that they're letting Doodle just kind of do his thing top. I've already seen it once today where you leave a lifestealer to his own accord, and he'll make you pay for it.
Yep, and speaking of pay, like, he's already got his Midas. He just needs to head over to the side shop here and pick up the Glove of Haste, which... Ooh, sell it. It's in your stash. There you go. How many... I've done that so many times in pubs where you run over to the side shop and you accidentally buy things from the main shop. And then sometimes you realize a little too late. I'm getting gone up here. It's a TP though.
I'm trying to get Jinkyu. We'll see if Doodle, well, not committing to going under the tower. And then Tian Ming again. It just seems like he's starting this battery assault off maybe a little bit too late, but as I say that, gets around Ollie with the cogs. They've got the familiars continue onto the Brewmaster. And familiars get the couple of stuns in.
I think if you're IB, you're just super okay with what's happening here. You have a tri-lane sitting bot. You have your tri-lane sitting bot too, and sure, your Brewmaster almost dies, but your Beast is still chilling in experience range, and your Lifestealer is free farming. The only potential issue is this Pugna. He's going to get this tower soon. Not much a Morphling can do against a Pugna at this point in the game.
It feels like Ehome are desperately trying to keep the pressure up and get kills here, but it's just not working out the way they would like. And with that, you know, there's so many rotations coming in, opening up so much space for the Lifestealer to just continue to farm and be happy in his lane. And subsequently, as they've gone over bottom a couple of times, Emo's been able to find a good time mid, or a decent time mid.
He's been farming, which is good, but Pugna takes his power. And now it can head to secure potentially another tower. I think running to the... Oh, actually, it's Dogfights last in the lane.
Yeah.
Although they're going
go
for
for Eco, they've got themselves a roar, and this should be more than enough. Emo even rotating on this.
Guess there's no point in mid, no tower to defend, eh? So it's like TP to bot lane, head back to mid.
It works out perfectly. A quick little TP and an easy kill. Winter's Curse used over top on a Doodle. They're trying to make sure that he's stuck by as they want to get this kill onto Doodle, which is very important considering how much of an open lane he's had. The battery assault comes through. I get a little bit of lag coming my way, and Doodle able to slide show it out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He had the rage up. He surprisingly didn't use it. He just was holding it. He knew that he could walk away. But Pugna had not enough mana to life drain, so
Dire's top tower
unable to do enough damage without that life drain. Ego and the TP's straight to the bot line, just defending this tower. Now that he has the medallion and now that he's level 6, he is quite possibly the hardest hero on the map to kill on the side of Ehome. So this is a good place for him to be. Although, as I say that, he draws a line towards the top lane and just TPs, or just walks there. Which is a good call, because IG smoked to the ball. So they're not going to find anything other than maybe the tower.
Don't want to reconnect just because it never fixes the lag. Even though people are going to be screaming for me to reconnect. But I almost have no choice. I'm going to give it a minute. I'm going to give it a minute longer, see what happens. It usually evens out. But Ali and Emo coming up over on the Xingqiu, the Arctic Burn, and now he's going to break some trees, but you got Emo and Ali to get an easy kill there on the Xingqiu, who looked like he had a decent start. Oh, I keep taking back there.
This is the thing about the Winter Wyvern pick as an offlaner. What he was doing is the correct action to do on Winter Wyvern, where you sit in the trees, you defend the tower for as long as possible. But the reason that that's good to do as a support is because if they dive and kill you, it's a waste of their time. But when you're killing the 3-roll by diving like that, I mean, that was an easy kill for one, but for two, like, you're killing an important hero as opposed to an unimportant one. So it's interesting to see that he's playing basically just as a support for Winter Wyvern. Although I say that, he's building into Meteor Hammer. Winter's Curse plus Meteor Hammer build. Trent would be proud. Oh my god, the amount of times I've heard Trent say he wants to see axes and Winter Wyverns picking up Meteor Hammer. It's actually really good too. It's super good. You just have so much chain disable and damage. It is unreal. Did it work? Are you Gucci? Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of farming going on. Particularly Doodle with the Mongus. He's chilling in his own jungle, farming. And IG on the bot lane too. They're farming the kind of aggressive area while Doodle farms the zone jungle because, well, he's not gonna get killed there because he has the rage. Although, as I say that, Ehome is pressuring into IG's jungle, but they realize it's a lifestealer. How do they kill a lifestealer? They need to use the hook, but they follow up the hook with. They have no disable other than Winter's Curse and Hook and Visage Bird's done. Fights in the ball lane.
He's got the Hex, but he ends up dying. This is the best I've got right now. It's just slideshow Dota. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes when you're connecting all the way to China. But yeah, I mean, it happens. I'm very much experienced with it, so I'm going to still try and cast as best I can, but I know people are going to be like, oh, it's PC, potato PC, but it's just the connection to the server just not being...
It seems to happen randomly, too. Sometimes
it's super random. Yeah.
Always,
it'll come back.
It's always in the broadcaster slot, too. Well, maybe it would be if you're playing the China server with, but I don't know why you would do that as a player for like North America. That'd be very difficult to play. 200,
yeah, and it, you know,
6 ping.
It's 100 gigs up, 100 gigs down, and this is still happening. But whenever they're going to Roche, they're going to try and take it. They've got the Serpent Warps down, Emo dog fights as well as Black in there with Ali on the side. I could add my own sound effects. I know people sometimes like that, but this seems like one of those days where people are just going to like this kid is an idiot. But they'll go for this Roach and coming over, at least for a moment, will be Ehome. Innocence and Xingqiu spot this. They've got the stun that comes through onto the Morphling, who ends up dying. And now they go after Black. He's going to immediately buy back. They look for the Beastmaster. He tries to run away. The Primal Split will be used by Ali. And now coming from behind him is Doodle looking over at Ego. The Cogs get...
Well, the hook came out off the Beastmaster, finishing him off. Roadphone is at about 20% HP as a huge Splinter Blast comes out and takes 3 people inside of 3 cores on IG down to about 20% HP. Mel getting chased up. Sean Stone's not home. They're fighting around mid lane tower.
Oh, they've got the Cogs around Doodle. They'll get the kill. That's going to be 3 dead on the side of IG as Emo tries to run away. We're finally back. We've got sound. We've got everything. Oh, it's so wonderful.
They head into the Roche pit, and this is with all of the bounty roots spawning too. So not only from winning this team fight, so they get the Roche on, but they're potentially going to pick up 2 of these bounty runes as well. Like, that's a perfect timing to win a fight because there's such clear objectives that you can go get afterwards. Roshan, 2 bounty runes, push the top lane, secure the top lane. Super easy. It's inevitable. This is a good timing for Ehome, but the later and later this game goes, the harder it gets, because IG's lineup, they have 2 very nicely scaling super carries, Lifestealer and Morphling. Beastmaster is no slouch in the late game either, especially with the vision advantage he gives you.
So 10-6 in favor of Ehome as they get themselves that fight over by the Roche Pit. Really works out for them, and they got themselves the Aegis here under the Pugness, so they'll smoke up, they'll try to keep it aggressive. Meanwhile, 2 of these heroes on their side of the jungle, or their side of the river, as Emo comes over, though, and finds Xiao 8, and gets the kill immediately. So Dogfight, so plays down the circle wards, he's going to be stuck inside the cock for a moment, finally breaks free. They'll come over with Ingo, Dogfight falls to Innocence, they'll continue to work on to Ollie, they get themselves a second. The Winter's Curse locks in Doodle as well as Emo, he'll infest in, the waveform over with the infest getting popped, and that is at least 1 for IG.
That's a dieback Undying, but it's still an Undying, so they can push this tower with relative ease, especially with 2 people TPing out. That actually means they're going to get a tier 2 here. That is interesting to... Oh no, Black's okay. He's just so they can look to defend this tier 2. I thought he TP'd out. Morphling, however, has no TP, and he's about to show here with no TP, which means they're basically gonna potentially sacrifice this tier 2. Is he gonna head over? He does have the regen, so he can run over. He's got a Yasha too, he's relatively fast. I don't know if you want to give up a tier 2, but they are.
They'll go for the tier 2 so quickly, they'll take it out.
And they have a meteor hammer.
Brutal. To be careful, Crepify Rage immediately used, and the Midas. Gotta make sure you sneak out that Midas coming through.
It's worth dying for. 180. A lot of money. Beastmaster does get the top tower. That's pretty important considering the enemy team just took Roshan, although they did lose the Aegis, but you're not in a position where you necessarily want to fight them, right? You have heroes that you know are going to be a lot stronger in the late game. Ehome is strong right now. It's only a 1k gold lead, but they're still way stronger by virtue of when their heroes have a power spike. So it's relatively smart for IG to not look to fight into that right now. At a certain point, if the fight looks good, they can take it. But you definitely want to wait until like Morphling maybe gets Sanjin Yasha, Lifestealer gets Radiance, then you probably look to fight. But until then, getting a tower is great.
Hook shot. And the Winter's Curse, probably not both necessary at that moment, but the Meteor Hammer comes out on top of that. Innocence throws the Decay, and Emo places down his own Tombstone.
Nope.
Yeah. Thanks for the 125.
This is great. This is awesome if you're IG. You have Dogfights pushing bot lane. Presumably he's going to drop his surf boards on that tower. Not dealt with, which forces Ehome to come down here. That is essentially Morphling making space for his supports. Brewmaster almost has his Force Staff too, allowing him to farm that little play up there. There's little to deal with the Morphling here inside of Ehome. That's definitely a concerning aspect of this. They're going to have the Dagon soon. They can burst. They still have no disable.
Crepify again, but
look at him.
Waveform out.
Like he's just letting these things occur to him because he knows that there's no way that he dies within within reason.
We've got the Radiance finished off here on the Lifestealer. And then let's take a look at Jinkyu, because he didn't end up going into that Midas. He went into the Meteor Hammer like you had said. But IG, they're in a decent spot if they want to wrap around Ehome, and now they'll spot the Shadow Shaman. TM being on the back lines, they haven't come in just yet. They continue to pressure this tier 2 tower, trying to force the hand of IG. If they can win a fight here on the side of Ehome, they could push to the high ground potentially. So IG need to know that they're getting the right fight. You've got Hookshot available from Ehome to maybe make a long-range initiation. They'll get the Vision coming in with the Rocket Flare. So it's all about the positioning and whether or not they're going to choose to go in.
I'm like 90% sure that in the next fight is what we're going to see IG obliterate Ehome. Like the rest of the game is going to be completely IG favored. Just because they have the Radiance, they have the Sanjin Yasha, and Ehome has not yet applied enough pressure. And these cores are going to start to... These cores that were doing almost nothing in the early game, being the Morphling and the Lifestealer, they're now going to do the most. So, with that power spike, I think this is going to go downhill from here for Ehome. But IG looks like they don't want to fight. They're actually just fine with filling out. They know the later and later this game goes, the more true that statement becomes of Ehome cannot fight into IG. They're just cool. They'll lose all the towers, doesn't matter. Because when you try to go high ground, when you try to fight us, we'll win.
Especially if Emo does end up getting himself that E-Blade, and you've got the Radiance already on Lifestealer. He's going into the Yasha with it. Armwood as well, and hook shot. Doodle locked into the cogs. He'll attempt to TP out. The Winter Skirt's going to keep him here. So he decides against just walking away with so many heroes on the side of Ehome coming in. And now Ollie moves over, but that may not have been the right move. Pugna will be cycloned up by this Primal Split Ollie Brewmaster. And now he's down to one bear. Back to form he'll come, and the decay hits with the Arctic Burn coming in as well as the Battery Assault. Ollie on the run, but no way he's making it out.
That is basically the most important pickoff that they could get. So I think if they don't chain everything perfectly on the Lifestealer after initiating on him, they don't kill him. He just kills all of them. So that couldn't have been a more well-executed smoke. Like, they knew that they had this timing, and they're going to try to pressure the high ground right here. Because otherwise this game gets way harder for them. So IG just needs to hold this. Do whatever they can to hold this high ground. Morphling has an Invis. This is the good chance to actually start a really good fight. Well,
the Sentry Ward's there for Ehome, though, so Emo's got to be careful. He places down his own tombstone, looks over at Innocence, and now Tianming has to be careful as he's hit by the Adaptive Strike. The waveform comes across, and the hookshot, I believe, was blocked by Innocence. You look over at Emo, and he goes back into the Undying form, gets a little bit of health back. They'll take out Dogfights. They'll look for more. The Winter's Curse, that's going to lock in 3. Oh, with the Meteor Hammer on top of it, it's the Wombo combo coming in. Down goes Doodle, down goes Ollie, Black to follow. 4 heroes dead with the buyback coming out from Dogfights. Ehome on that can certainly take a Rax.
I can't believe they basically hit like the last possible timing that they could to win this game, and they hit it so hard. Like, I'm glad that they chose to stick around there, because I do feel like this game would get way harder for them. They knew that they had to do this, and that Meteor Hammer from Winter Wyvern was absolutely beautiful in that fight. It was on 3. Not only was it on 3, it was on Lifestealer, who, if they don't channel that Meteor Hammer on him, they have no way to disable him.
They put it all together, and they get themselves one set of racks over mid, the melee racks in the bottom lane. I mean, that is so much there for Ehome. And this is an Ehome playing with Jingqiu and Zhao 8. You know, they're missing Faith Beyond an ASD, and wow, I mean, Ehome, they're looking stellar with 2 stand-ins.
Maybe that's why they choose to draft like this, because they know that with essentially a different roster, they need to just draft in a new way regarding that roster. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily that this is the easier strat by any means. It's more like these players love to play like this. Like, this iteration of the team is going to be good at these early game push strats. I mean, clearly they are. Like, that execution from the clock hook on the Nakes to the racks, to the double racks, was basically flawless. Like, that was the best timing that they could have hit at the last possible timing, and they hit it. It's so damn hard. And now all of that stuff that I said about the late game is not true, because with 2 racks down, Dota's a different game. You constantly have that pressure. You constantly have that vision.
Primal Roar.
I say that.
They'll find themselves Tianming, or at least think they have, is the 4-step away, but the waveform comes out. Emo able to get the kill, and now they'll look to turn it around for the side of Ehome as they'll grab Dogfights. Emo sitting low, but he goes after Zhao 8, who ends up falling. That's going to be 2 dead, immediately buying back. The waveform forward, Ego low, Soul Assumption available. Emo now needs to run with the Soul Assumption coming in as well as the Winter's Curse, but that's only going to lock up just the Morphling. So they ball back on 2 of these heroes. They need to be careful. There's the Meteor Hammer that hits on the Lifestealer again. Is going to be hit by the get the rage off and get hit by these heroes on the side of Ehome, but able to escape. Doodle runs away, trying to get out. Ali sacrifices his life. Ehome continues to move because 3 heroes on the side of IG are dead without buyback. Whew.
Is the answer? Is this the obvious answer? Just pick no carry and 5 pushing heroes and let the enemy team because they farm? It's looking pretty good.
Dire's top tower.
Meteor Hammer counters Midas.
Go for the tier 3 tower over top. And Judo taking a lot of damage for the hook shot from downtown. Oh, baby, TME comes in from a mile away. And they'll get the kill immediately on Emo. Doodle Force back to base. Down goes the tier 3. Ollie moving in. And now, again, they need to try and find a way into this. But they lose Ollie one more time. He's going to be dead for 30 seconds. No buyback. Dogfight's next as the Arctic Burn. Shinkyu coming over the top of that wall that keeps the side of Ehome out, or so it seemed. It won't be, as Dogfight's he falls, and they've also lost Ollie. Down goes Doodle. There's the Winter's Curse to lock in the Morphling. You just fought back, Emo. Where you gonna go? It's nowhere. It's just to the grave. GG is called by IG, and Ehome, with this oddball lineup, take the game from IG.
It kind of makes sense. Like, there's less gold on the map.
Nicely done.
People have to kill Midas and pick heroes that are going to capitalize on the timing.
I truly am just shocked at what they were able to do with this lineup.